from town to town with a horse trailer dragging behind. Just a cowboy lost in a modern world. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Not a day goes by, don't think about how my life used to be. Now I'm out of my prime and I'm losing time, and nobody's calling for me. They used to call my name come roundup time. Now the four-wheelers takes my place, and the cowboy life that I've always loved is getting lost without a trace. But I won't give up and I won't give in. I'm a cowboy till I die. And I know there's got to be a place for me underneath big western sky. Headed out west, gonna do my best to leave the civilized world behind. Just me, my saddle, and an honest horse will try to go back in time, where surely there'd be a warm campfire or a bunkhouse calling my name. But tonight I'll sleep in my pickup truck, 'cause I'm still not playing their game. The world may turn, but the thing they can't change is the way I feel inside. A prairie fire may burn itself out, but you can't snuff a cowboy's pride. I'll be what I am and I'll do what I do. This life is worth fighting for. Yeah, the cowboy life is a life for me and 10,000 more. The cowboy life is a life for me.
Welcome back to True to Horse Horsemanship. This is Smoking Lady. I know y'all haven't seen her for a while. Of course, actually after the last two videos, you haven't seen me for a while. On this video, it's not so much working with her. I haven't done much with her for a while since I lost Suka, because losing my main horses, I gotta admit, took something out of me. So I decided, didn't want to get attached to another horse, but she's a nice mare, and I've been just spending more quality time with her than anything, which she needed that. She needed just one-on-one, not really necessarily working. She just needed some time. And she was, if you remember correctly, she was really spooky when she first got in here. Now she's pretty well settled down. And she accepts the saddle real good, and no matter how long she sits, I can put a saddle on her and she doesn't do anything. And with her breeding, I was talking to Mr. Mahan a couple weeks before he died, actually, and he had a filly that was her breeding, and he said he messed up. He said, I got too much in a hurry. Then he let his ego get in the way. And he said he admitted it. And that's a lot about his character, both as a person and a horseman. You gotta admit when you do wrong. So while I'm talking today, I'm just gonna pet on her, not really ask much of her. We'll get into all kinds of things today. And I want to start doing my videos a little bit different. Instead of being so much a how-to video, be more as a tutor video. You say, what's the difference? Well, number one, if I'm tutoring somebody, it's a little bit slower. And they're more breaking down things. I'm not going to spend a half hour just running my mouth to hear me talk. Good girl. You know, like I said earlier, for her just to stand here being this quiet is a big plus. In next coming videos, you'll see me with her and over there at Wolf Trap Farms with Andalusians, and go back and forth and start seeing her progress. Now I broke out my old saddle. I'm going to clean it up, and people are probably going to wondering why I don't have a back girth on, because I truly believe you need one on a back horse to keep that saddle in place and keep it, you know, if you're riding, it'll help you not kick you out of the back of the saddle. But like I said, my back girth on this saddle needs to be replaced, so I just took it off. You know, my groundwork, especially with a horse so reactive as she was in the past, this is what I'm looking for. Quiet. She's meeting my demeanor. She's not all amped up. It's right there to show you if I want to amp her up, I can amp her up. This is a horse I don't want to amp up. I mean, she's bred to work a cow, and everything out there catches her eye. And of course, when I start riding her, I'll have a bit. I noticed on my hiatus, been watching short parts of videos and stuff, which I want to bring out, and I'll get slammed for it. You know, there's nothing wrong starting your horse in a rope halter. You're in controlled conditions. So, you know, like with round pen, all you're going to go is round and round in circles. But it seems like it's getting popular now. All these young pups are showing up riding in a rope halter. But number one, explain the process and what you're going to go to it. Because on the flip side of that, I've seen more and more people who's riding their horses out in trail and rope halters, and they're getting in trouble. And you say, well, they're not, haven't did their prep work. We all know that's bullshit. I mean, let's face it. We all know if you handle horses at all, you know, no matter how much prep work you go, you change their environment, something spooks them. It depends on the personality of the horse. It can be nothing, or it could be full-fledged bolt. And let's be real, in a rope hauler, horse that wants to bolt, you're not going to have no control. And like I said, I don't care how much prep work you put into it, all that's going to seem like goes away. I give 2 examples offhand. One guy's canning his horse very quietly out in the open with a rope halter. Something got the horse a little upset, and it's not even a big spook. So he tried to get control of the horse, and the horse ended up running into a motorcycle. I want to wake her up a little bit. And you say, well, why did he put that horse in the environment? Well, he didn't count on somebody riding by in the motorcycle. And you got to be prepared. And one gal, she'd run across the pasture, and she tried to pull the horse to the left, and the horse felt that pressure, and it went to the right and ran her into one of them big hay bales. Now, would it have happened with a bit in his mouth? Well, probably not. I see 2. Then there's, then you got the flip side, where a gal with a Mustang, no fault of her own, she listened to the local, and they put a mechanical hack on it. Oh, Marcy, we can't put a bit in the mouth, but we could put a mechanical hack. Which anybody really knows the mechanics of a mechanical hack, they know they're a lot more severe than what they look like. Just because they don't have something in the mouth don't mean they're not severe, because it puts pressure on the nose and underneath at the same time. It's like putting their nose in a vice grips. Well, the horse started lifting his head up. And this is from the start. So what do? They threw a tie down on it. And this woman's watched tons of my videos. She's seen me. She's heard me preach about how to get a horse soft. And also, they was too worried about getting a horse on a circle. And you seen that last video of me and Bandit over at Wolf Trap Farms, that I didn't worry about a circle. From day one, I'm going to start, as soon as I know I got a little bit of control, I'm going to start doing serpentines. I'm going to start moving that body where I want it. I'm not just going to put them on a dead circle or on the rail or something. I want to get that mind activated. And it sounds like we're not doing much, nothing but listen to my words. It's very important. No matter if you got a seasoned horse or not. Remember, keep that mind activated. Don't let them get dull. And it's not that hard. People say, well, I can't control the feet like that. Well, it's because you don't want to. It's not because you can't. Because you don't want to try. And plus, you're looking for maybe control feet like someone like me. Don't. don't compare yourself to anybody out like that who does this for a living. If you can start controlling their feet a little bit, take that as a win, you and your horse can build up on it. I mean, I've seen so many good horses get labeled because of that simple factor, the way we train nowadays. A good example, Palomino in California. And I'm bringing all these points up for y'all, please don't do this. I lived out there, I know how they act. And I saw the video of the Palomino when it was at where it was raised at. Horse worked good, got in a new environment. First they do, I know what they did. They probably threw it in a round pen and lunged the hell out of it. And then the horse, at some point, finally became lame. The horse started getting more and more nervous. And they couldn't understand why. The horse rode good at the house, you know, where it was raised at. So the more nervous they got, I guarantee it, if they were honest, the more lunging they did. And round pen worked. So what happens? The horse gets more nervous. Nobody's giving this horse what it needs. In order to be successful with your horse, you got to be smart enough to figure out what that horse needs. So I try to help her. And I said, Margaret, the horse needs to do something instead of just going round and round. It needs to work. And she sent me a video of somebody, I don't know, it was a trainer or somebody else riding the damn horse. I'm not putting the horse down, sorry for that. Because I like the horse. And she's doing everything I told Margaret that horse doesn't need. I mean, it didn't need to be stuck on a circle. It needed a job. It needed to go down the rail and do rollbacks. It needed to do serpentines. It needed, really get control of that horse's feet, and that's how you do it. And eventually, you see the horse would get calm and relaxed again. If I was a betting man, I'd probably bet that horse probably ended up going to the killers. I haven't asked her about that horse because I don't want to know, because if she told me, I'd probably get upset because me, I'm not rich and can't hardly afford what we got. Or I would have took that Palomino and proved everybody wrong. Nothing wrong with the horse. It's just people didn't learn to adapt. Like Larry, Mr. Man, he figured out he had to adapt with that mare filly we were talking about. If you're not willing to change and see what's truly going on, you're in trouble. You're never going to make progress. Hell, that goes along with life. You keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep being in trouble. In the same way with horses. I've said in the past, these horses is a good reflection of you. And like her, when I finally start riding her, she's going to be serious. She's going to get the business. And that's all I asked of her. I don't care if she don't follow me around. I don't care if she's not at the stall door greeting me. I don't care if I got to walk in the stall to get her. I don't care. I don't take it personal. And I don't think, well, that horse don't like me. If this horse gives me what I'm asking of it, I'll be honest with you, I don't care if the horse likes me or not. I prefer it did. I'm only human. But if we can go out and do our job, and she does it, I'm happy. And I'll guarantee it, with that mindset with her, it will go a long way. because she'll be happy. And she will look forward to seeing me. It was like I said, I knew what it was going to take on me on an emotional level, physical level, to get her where I want her, where I'm riding her. And I'll admit, but see, the thing of it is, I'll admit, with everything going on with me and losing Suka and Smokey and all, and Lady, I mentally wasn't prepared. Then you ask my physical stuff going on, like my stroke and this and that, you know, and realize I'm not a pup no more. It all takes that toll. You know, I've said this over and over again, but people don't hear me. Especially when you're personal horses. You got all the time in the world. Take it one step at a time. You know, and look for when they're trying. Now, some people say, well, as soon as they try that first time, you quit. No, you don't. You don't quit right then. Even though you might be tired and ready to quit, you don't quit. Like I said, I got my 5-time rule. I want them to do something that I've been working on at least 5 times in a row, consecutive. Well, then I'll quit. You know, and everybody thinks, like with her, if I don't put pressure on her, she's not moving. And notice I picked up that hand, she walked off. I don't want her to trot and be stupid. I want her to be quiet. Look at her, she's looking for me. So I'm part of her herd. And that's what I want. I want her to be part of, me and her be our little herd. And it's like me moving her hip. You know, of course, every horse is a little different. She's born a little bit more to be reactionary. I've never put a lot of pressure to get her to move that hip. If anything, I've done the opposite. Because at first, when she moved that hip, boy, she was moving it just for me and just walking there. So now we got her nice and quiet. Nice and quiet. Right then I had to add a little more pressure for her to move it. That's what I want. Doesn't take much pressure. You know, we went slow. Because like I said, with her, she's different. She's not a dull horse. She doesn't sulk off. As a matter of fact, like I said, she reacts the other way. So, you know, I want her to just match my feel. Before, she'd be backing out of my space real fast and quick, and I didn't want that. So we slowed down. Like I said, I had to adapt. I didn't try to make her adapt to my situation. I tried to adapt to hers, which in the long run, she adapted to me. You follow that? Just like that palomino. instead of putting it on a circle and just getting that horse more wired up, or throwing a round pin and running the hell out of it and laming it. They should just slow down, rollbacks, serpentines, get control of the horse. And at first it might have his nose up a little bit in the air, but the more you just ignore it and just kept going on and just work with it, and you adapt to that horse's needs, then at some point that horse would slow down. And that's true, honest fact. Everybody wants to make this a big mystery, training horses. No, it's not. You just got to remember you're dealing with a living creature. And I'm all for it. If your personalities don't match, and if you're not willing to change to betterment for that horse, and also the betterment of yourself, do like you do all the time. Run from it, get you another horse. Of course, the horse end up about third or fourth owner get labeled as uncontrollable, and the horse is paid for it because of your shortcomings, because you're not willing to adapt, because you're not willing to put the work. And it doesn't take that much work, people. Like I said, most of my videos are going to change. Yeah, they're going to sing more lectures. But I've spent 15 years filming these, and I got close to 17,000 followers. It just seems like 5 or 6 people listen. The rest of them just watch it and probably hope and see if I get hurt in my younger years, or see what happens. You know, what kind of crazy horse I'm working with at the time. But now it's time for somebody to step up and be the dad. I mean, I've seen all these young kids putting videos up, not taking away them as horsemen, but they're not speaking from experience. They're speaking from somebody else's words. They're not using their own words. Their mannerisms don't match what they're spieling. And no, I don't have all the answers. I'll never will. Because that's just the way life is. You know, it doesn't matter if you're dealing with horses or life. We'll never all have the answers. And, you know, what we're doing today, what I'm doing with her today, is going a long way. I'm just playing with her a little bit, move her feet, one in a circle, reverse her. And some people say, well, what if you upped up the game? Well, 15% or 20% of the time I will be upping the game. Now, like I said, other horses, it might be reverse. I might be doing this 20% and upping the game 80% because they either got somebody taught them they don't have to do something, or they're a deadhead. But like I said earlier, I'll adapt. And I'm not going to take it personal. And that's just the way it is. So, like I said, next coming videos we'll be having her in a lot of them. And it'll be over Wolf Trap Farms quite a bit. But she's gonna, I think at the end of the day, she's gonna make me proud, and I'll be happy. Because she's, like I said, she's came a long way. And actually, I'm happy where she's at right now. See, right there she got a little tensed, but I kept moving. Because if I say, oh, poor little smoking lady, you got tense, I better not push her take another step because you're a little tense, she's going to be, that next time she's going to be worse. And next time we want her better. So she's at the point now I'll be slipping a bit in her mouth, and she's already had it in her mouth. But going back and reminding her what it is, get her really soft to the bit before I can climb on. Number one, I'm 71 years old. So I play a little bit smart, not stupid. And I'll try to find some young person to come over and give me a hand just for that first ride. But don't have nobody got guts. Everybody's talking big good game, but oh, we'll come over, but we gotta spend a month of groundwork. No, you don't. I'll take care of that. But that's where we're at these days. I mean, we've screwed up our horses, we've screwed up our kids, but that's a different subject, which I would prefer not to get into, at least not here. I try to keep politics out of my horse training videos because I'm here to teach, to instruct, to help you have a better relationship with your horse. So what to take out of this video? 1, learn to adapt. 2, get them off the circle. Do something. Even like me in the arena, I go back and forth. You've seen me. Like last time with Baden, I'll do the same thing if I was out in the pasture, out in the open. I'd do my serpentines and maybe go around a tree and do a roll back in towards the tree. So I just don't let them go brain dead. I got to teach, my philosophy is, it sort of sounds contradictory. I want to be able to control their feet and control them all the way around. But I want this horse to think that I'm not holding on to his mouth and getting in his way. They got a freedom to move. They can move out. So that way I get a more relaxed horse. I've seen too many times people, they'll hold their horses back and the horse just amps up, and then they blame the horse, and it's like, no, you're never giving that horse a break. So, did enough preaching today. Hope you got something out of this video. A little long. Ran my mouth probably a little bit too much. But as I always say, be true to the horse. And first and foremost, Emmett, be true to yourself. Enjoy your horse. And look for the little things, the little pleasures. Just like life. Look at the little pleasures that come along. Don't look for that big magical moment. Because I tell you what, I've worked enough problem horses. And when I get that first hint of them changing, there's no feeling like it, even to this day, for how long I've been at it. When they first starting to get it, I'm thinking it was worth it. Like Bandit, he's a fine example. He acts like he's calm, and he's a strange duck. He won't hurt you, but he had a little bit of attitude, and at first, if he didn't want to do something, he'd let you know he didn't want to do it. So my job is to be persistent and just take my time and have the patience to say, yeah, you're going to do it. So, well, might as well sign off again. So with all that jargon, be true to the horse and they'll be true to you. And foremost, be true to yourself. And thank you for watching, and God bless, and take care.